Good day, viewers. Welcome to Juke's online maths class. Today we'll be looking at a very vital topic in mathematics, which is titled what? Indices, as we have it here on the board. So when we talk of indices, most times in mathematics, we observe that what? Expressing the product of likely numbers in the form 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 can be time consuming. So instead of what? Wasting my time writing what? The product of what? Repeated what? 2's in this form, I can simply what? Compress it to have what? 2 raised to power what? How many times am I having the 2's here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can easily compress it to have what? 2 raised to power what? 4. Also, if I have the product of what? Likely number, which is our like variables in form of what? A's. Let's say I have A times A times A times A. Look at this. What is the base here in question? I'm having what? Repeated what? Product of what? A's. I can just simply say what? Since I'm having A's all through, I'll just pick A as the base. Then how many times did this A repeat itself? It repeated itself how many times? Into what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, into what? 4 times. So we say that what? These two expressions or these two results are in their various what? Index what? Index form. In these two expressions here, 4 is tagged what? The exponent. We'll call 4 what? The exponent or the what? Or the power. Then 2 is the base. Here as well, 4 is tagged what? The exponent or call it the power. Whereas the A in question is tagged what? Is tagged the base. Now, expressing numbers in index form simply shows what? The number of times a number can be what? Multiplied. What do I mean by that? Expressing these two numbers in their index form, 2 raised to power 4, A raised to power 4, it simply shows what? The number of times these two can be what? Multiplied. A raised to power 4 also simply means what? The number of times A can be what? Can be multiplied. So which means A raised to power 4 means that what? We are going to multiply A's into how many times? Into 4 times. So when we do that, we have what? A times A times A times what? A. So now this simply shows what? The number of times A can be what? Can be multiplied. So now this A here is in terms of product. Then compressing it here is what? In its what? Index what? Form. Again, if I have P raised to power 3, P raised to power 3 simply means what? Expressing the product of P's in how many times? Just 3 what? Times. This implies what? P times what? Times P. It is in its product form here. Then when we compress it in terms of index form, I'll have P raised to power what? 3. So in P raised to power 3, we have the 3 here as what? As the base, as the power mean, then P is what? Is the base. Now, having known the what? The concept of what? Indices, we have it here what? That indices, it is the power or exponent which is raised to a variable or number. So in this case now, the 4 here, which is what? The exponent of 4 of A here is what? Is the index. Then the 3 here, which is what? The exponent or the power of P is what? Is the index that we're talking about. Just the power to which a number is raised is what? Is what we mean by what? Indices. Okay, moving away from indices, as we have in this life, there are various laws. There are various what? Laws guiding what? Operations of life. So do we have that in mathematics. So every mathematics, or every what topics in mathematics is being guided by what? By principles and what? And laws. Now, we want to look at what? Laws pertaining to what? To indices. So for you to perform any operation in indices, there are various laws guiding what? Various what? Operations in what? In indices. The first law we are having today is what? Is the multiplication law. To have laws of indices, we want to look at what? Multiplication what? Multiplication law. What is this multiplication law all about? Now, under multiplication law, when we have a value, let's assume we have a variable in this form, x raised to power b times x raised to power what? C. This simply implies what? This is equals to x raised to power what? B plus c. This is what multiplication law is telling us about. So now, how do you go about proving this kind of law under indices? We are told that what? If you have what? Two variables of the same kind, having what? Their respective powers. What do you do in terms of multiplying them? The law states that what? Just pick one of the variable as you have here. You can see it on the board. X. And what do you do to their powers? We just add their what? Their various what? Powers. How is this necessary? And how do you apply this to what? To indices. Let's check the law. Okay. What this is trying to tell us is this. Let's just look at the law and know if at all the law can be what? Can be proved. Now look at this. Supposing I have in indices 2 raised to power 3 multiplying 2 raised to power what? 2. Now, in normal what? Sense. If we want to just do just a simple arithmetic here, this is simply what? 2 and 2, we are having what? Same basis, right? So now, 2 raised to power 3 multiplying 2 raised to power 2 simply means in normal arithmetic. It simply means what? 2 times 2 times 2. That is expressing what? This index of what? 2. 2 raised to power 3 implies what? 2 times 2 times 2, right? Then it is multiplying what? 2 raised to power 2, which simply implies what? Times 2 times 2 times 2. So I'm having how many 2's here? 1, 2, 3 for the first what? 2 raised to power 3. And as well, 1, 2. 1 what? 2. Okay, no. Look at this. I'm having 1, 2, 3. So 2 is expressing itself or it's multiplying itself 3 times. So I have what? 2 times 2 times what? 2, right? I have 2 up to what? 3 times. Then multiplying 2 times what? 2, which is this. So in total, I'm going to have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The base equation here is 2. I have 2. How many times do we express the product of 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Okay, I'll have it as what? 2 raised to power what? 5. Okay, so now, this same thing can be easily solved using what? This law of what? This law of indices, which is what? The multiplication law. What is this multiplication all about? It says that what? When you're having two what? Variable or numbers of the same base, having their respective what? Powers. What do? You first of all do what? Just pick one of the base and add their powers. So let's perform the operation here and see if at all this operation will what? Will work out here. Okay, we have here 2 raised to power 3 times 2 raised to power 2 is simply equals to what? What is the base equation here? The base equation here is what? Is 2. I'll just pick what? The base, which is what? 2. What is the respective what? Powers? We have the individual powers as what? 2 and 3. So I'll just add their power, which is what? 3 plus 2. Which will give me what? In total as what? 2 raised to power what? 3 plus 2 will give me what? 5. You can see I'm having the same answer when I express this in terms of what? Their what? Product. When I apply the law of indices, I also get the what? The same result. Let's just take one more example. Or supposing I have again 2, or let's say A raised to power 2 multiplying A raised to power 5. In terms of simple arithmetic, this simply means what? A times A, which is for this. Then times expressing A into how many times here? 5. A times A times A times A times what? A. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Okay. We are having total of how many A's here? Or the product of how many A's? Now look at this. A in question here is the base. I'll just pick one of the A as the base. And what do? How many times this A occur here? We have how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have A raised to power what? 7 as the result. So when I apply the law of indices as well, so simply A raised to power 2 times A raised to power 5 will give me what? How many? What are the bases here? I have what? The base here as what? A. So I'll just pick one of the base, which is A. Then I'll do what to their power. Since I'm talking of what? Multiplication law, I'll just add their power, which is what? 2 plus 5. So in return, I'm having the same what? Answer, which is what? A raised to power 2 plus 5 will give me what? Will give me what? 7. So I'm having what? The same result as what? That of what? Expressing A's in terms of their product. Okay. Thank you for watching. Endeavor to subscribe my what? To my YouTube channel at Ojuk's Online Maths Class. Also, go to my Facebook page, like my Facebook page at Ojuk's Online Maths Class. Thank you. So in our subsequent videos, we'll be viewing what? The remaining laws of indices. We'll have laws of indices, not just one, not just two. We have a lot of laws of indices. So we'll be treating all the whole laws of indices, maybe in my subsequent class. Okay? So do well to subscribe to my what? YouTube channel at Ojuk's Online Maths Class. Visit my Facebook page, like my Facebook page. Thank you and God bless.